Welcome into the PHLY Phillies podcast, where we're not the Eagles, and we can finally kind of be put out of our misery with that football team after last night's performance. We're not here to talk about them, but Renee, that was absolutely embarrassing, and some wholesale major changes I would think are coming the way of the Philadelphia Eagles world in the coming week.
You know, I've noticed consistently each week for the last 5 of 6 weeks, every time I find myself laughing at another team, the Eagles find a way to embarrass us a little bit more. But the good news is we are now looking ahead to spring training in the Phillies and the Philadelphia Union, and we've got the Sixers and the Flyers, and we're just going to it's now our time to let go of the Eagles for a moment. We won't talk about them for a while.
They can't
as much
hurt
as we
us
try.
anymore.
Yeah, they can't hurt us anymore.
As hypothetical man
put
says.
us out of our misery. And I was talking with different people last night. I'm like, okay, you know what? It's fine. End this season. It clearly is a lot of mess going on. Regroup for next year and put us out of our misery so we don't get dragged in another week, because next week against Detroit would have been even uglier.
Oh, yeah. They would have gotten dragged next week against Detroit.
Yeah, so, this is what happened against Tampa Bay, much like the Giants, much like the Cardinals. Put us out of our misery. Let's end the mess. And now let's look ahead, because according to our lovely updated, and we had to go back and recalculate, guys. We're trying to make sure we're on our P's and Q's. We've got 28 days until pitchers and catchers report, and we've got 72 days until opening day, Phillies Braves. So we're getting closer. I know it's a gross snowy day out today, but the exciting thing is it's almost springtime, somewhat.
Yeah, and the lovely slush, rain / snow. Tyler said, what do you think of her thumbnail today? I came up with is it spring yet? And I was like, perfect, because this weather makes me really yearn for Clearwater, Florida, and seeing the sunshine and the tiki bar.
Yes.
It'll be interesting to see what jerseys they're wearing, since they're not going to be wearing the red ones this year in spring training. That'll be a little bit of a different feel. But yes, 28 days until pitchers and catchers report. And what'd you say, 70, 80?
72.
72 until a Thursday 3 o'clock game when the Phillies and Braves square off at Citizens Bank Park. So we have a lot to get to today. We have Devon Cook is going to be joining us as a guest. He's in the mid-central, maybe Michigan area,
Yeah,
we
where
believe.
I feel like we're not allowed to complain about the weather when you're in places like Michigan, because they're getting hit way worse.
And after talking with Herb
places.
Lawrence last week, I don't think we can complain about our baseball team compared to theirs.
Perspective, Jamie.
Yeah,
you know, we've been
Detroit's on the rise a little bit.
We've been checked a little bit lately. Of like in Detroit, I know a couple friends of mine actually got snowed in Detroit for the Lions game. So it could always be worse. Baseball wise, it definitely could be worse. # free Herb. But I know I see Bernardo. Welcome to the chat. Nice to have you here. John, Chris, Spiral Out, Martian. You know, a lot of folks in the chat. There were a couple more that were up above. I will say though,
where
quick
you at,
rant.
John? He said it's below zero here.
Yeah, please let us know where you are. That's below zero. Because now I don't feel bad at all. Spiral Out is reminding us happy third Thursday. Happy third Tuesday of the new year. Happy first snow day of the new year.
Yeah, how could the happy third Tuesday
that's what
of
we
the
should have
new
led
year?
with. Happy first snow day in Philly, because other places have already gotten snow. I will say, Jamie, and I don't know if you and Tyler saw this, but I did not see this. Where were the people dropping rock salt? There was like no salt on the roads.
None.
I saw nothing. Is it invisible this year all of a sudden? Because I literally was, and I saw it on my sidewalk, because my building does our steps and everything and like our sidewalk area. And then from there on, I saw nothing.
Here, they might want to.
There's nothing.
Think about some salt out there.
I saw like what, and we all knew it was gonna snow.
It was like a sidewalk ice skating rink coming.
Literally,
into the
I was like
today.
slipping and sliding. I mean, I always thought you were supposed to put some rock salt down as the snow is starting, and then you do it again overnight. I heard nothing. I saw nothing. I don't know if anybody else got anything, but
yeah, I gotta. When I get home, the one downside of suburb life compared to the city life is a lot more shoveling in the suburbs.
Yeah. Although I'm not going to lie, though, even though it sucks to have to shovel out your driveway, it also sucks on the city side because you get,
you get plowed
but
in.
you get plowed in.
Yeah.
Fortunately, that was not the issue
I'm actually
today.
very lucky in that I share a driveway with my neighbors. We have a...
I know the penis driveway.
Yes,
you told us.
the penis-shaped driveway.
I remember.
And they're a big... They have 2 snowblowers. So they usually do our whole driveway and like our main walk and sidewalk, which is
beautiful,
phenomenal. But we still have other stuff we have to shovel and so yes, we're all thinking of Clearwater today. And don't forget, if you wanted to join us, we're going down March 15th through 18th, St. Patrick's Day in the sunshine. How could that be a bad time? We're going with our buddy Vince from Philly Sports Trips.
Woo-hoo.
So if you have any interest or capabilities of getting away to Florida with us in mid-March, please consider it and hop aboard. We'd love to have you. You can head to allphly.com. Our own John Foley was there last night at Wicked Wolf hanging out with us. He's going to be going out and about to some of these Phillies events in town, some of the community events this week that they're doing. I think he's going to a place, community center in Northern Liberties today because I believe Rob Thompson and a player or two are going to be there. And there's another event tomorrow John's going to be going to. So make sure you're checking out his writing on allphly.com as well. Of course, the Flyers are rolling. So you got Charlie's great writing there. Zach Berman's fresh off a flight from Tampa right down the hall. He's going to have some great content coming out this week. So make sure you're checking out all the writers. And of course, the Sixers are kind of rolling. So let's get to a little bit of Phillies news today before we get to our guest and our guests that swing and our daily positivity. Not a ton happening in the baseball world right now. Jeff Passan, you're on the clock. You got 3 more days. You told me there was going to be activity between the 12th and the 19th.
This is not what I call activity, Jamie. It's like that invisible rock salt. It's not there.
Yeah. So yesterday, the international signing period wrapped up, and all the Phillies ended up signing 21 players. Now, I have the list of names here in front of me, Renee.
You got this.
Is this all 21? 2,
I believe in
4,
you.
6, 8, 10, 12, 13. There's only 13 on my list here. Do you think I will?
Good math.
Do you think I will get 10 right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you believe in me?
I do because
it's
why
Venezuela,
not?
Dominican, Mexico, Cuba, and that's it. Those are the 4 countries.
Okay, so you gotta really lean into it.
All right.
You got this, Jamie. Come on, Jaime.
Cesar Mojica. What do you think? Are you looking at the list?
Yeah.
Because you're the Spanish
I would go
minor here. You have to check
Cesar
me.
Mojica. There's an I in there. I don't know where you got the hex from.
Cesar Mojica, yet again, another catcher out of Venezuela. I mean, this guy just sounds like he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Julio Polanco Jr., right-handed pitcher from the Dominican. That kid's got what it takes, I can tell you already, just based on the name. Anderson Nava, a catcher, again from Venezuela. Winifred Castillo sounds sick. That guy's got gap power, I can just tell. An outfielder from the Dominican. Yadimir Fuentes.
This is Winifred, by the way.
Winifred? Is it?
It's an F-E-R. Makes the sound. Fur. No.
Winifred.
No.
What did I say?
Winifred.
Yeah. Well, okay. I got the hard part right.
You're just putting letters in people's names.
Yeah.
Like, if you pronounce it wrong, that's one thing, but you're just putting letters in that don't exist.
I was so worried about the W-I-N start to it that I
just for clarification.
I just went ER dyslexic.
So far, none of
these
have been that hard, but you are literally just adding letters. Winifred.
Not that hard for you.
It's literally just Winifred.
You minored in Spanish. This is very hard for me.
It's just Winifred Castillo. I would like a little bit more Castillo.
Okay.
Not Castillo.
A little more
I don't know
stink on the end of it.
So try that one again.
Winifred Castillo.
Woo!
An outfielder from the Dominican. He's an outfielder in the Phillies system, so the chances of him panning out are pretty much non-existent. Yadimir Fuentes, catcher out of Cuba.
Okay.
Jorge Guzman, a left-handed pitcher out of Mexico. Mailerson Casanova, a shortstop out of the Dominican Republic. I mean, that guy's got to be...
Mailerson. That's quite a name.
Well, Casanova.
Casanova.
Is this guy just like a walking sex machine? Because his name sounds like it. Ibrahim Ruiz, an outfielder from Venezuela.
Again, you're changing some letters in there. Just read.
Ibrahim. That's Ibrahim.
None of these are.
They're difficult to me, Renee. All right, this one.
Wait, hold on.
Totally
Are you sure
on.
it's not Ibrahim?
I have no. I'm taking this on. This is the cross I bear, so you guys don't have to get it wrong. I'm just gonna get them all
I don't
wrong.
think we get this wrong. Ibrahim Ruiz is literally exactly as it's spelled.
This one I'm toast on.
No, you've got this one. You've got this one. I believe in you.
I don't think so. Josuith Quenes? Josuith? Like Joseph, only Josuith? Quinones? An outfielder from Venezuela?
This is what we needed for our Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Josuith Quinones.
That's much better. I think you nailed it. Not what I said. Go with Renee. He is an outfielder from the Venezuela. Venezuela. He's an outfielder in the Philly system, so the kid's got no shot.
Guys, please send help.
Jose Familia, a shortstop from the Dominican Republic.
You better have gotten that one right.
Cristobal Bena.
Okay. I'm impressed with the Enye. I heard the Enye in there. Bena.
Yeah. A little
Impressive.
shortstop from the Dominican.
Oh, Lord.
David Freitas. Did I do it? David Freitas?
I would probably go Freitas.
Freitas?
David, actually, probably.
Oh, David. David. He is an outfielder, so again, no shot of developing into anything. And then, oh boy.
If you get this name wrong.
Renee Riche.
Okay. I actually don't know what the last name is, but at least you got the first name right.
I got Renee.
Renee.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Although it's more like Renee, but it's fine. I would go Riche. I think the Y is a little silent.
All right. So all in all, I did not get 10.
I'm crying. Wow.
And he is a right-handed
it's
pitcher.
Joe Sweet for me. Joe Sweet.
And yes, everybody, I did get a Starbucks today. I was up late. I needed the extra.
I'm not keeping track of scoreboards because you're an L on the Starbucks and you're an L on the name.
I needed the espresso today because it was
you
a late night.
Joe Espresso?
Yeah, I needed that. So there are some of the hilarious names I can now pronounce of the international signing period that wrapped up yesterday.
Spent way too much time in sports talk radio with these name pronunciations.
Pretty bad. Bad.
Yeah, I'm deaf when it comes to.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did because that was really rough. And they weren't that difficult.
John Dickerson says Renee?
Well, it's not the way there's no accent on or anything, so I think this one's more Renee.
Okay. I'm going to concede to you because I know nothing.
But
so
there is usually a Renee.
There you have it.
That.
Is it
Jamie.
wrong that I'm
Jamie.
as pessimistic about Philly's outfield prospects as I am?
No, because
I fully believe they can't develop them.
There's no reason to be optimistic. We've got nothing. Like, what would we be optimistic about? What have we seen in the past that would make us optimistic? Exactly.
Yeah.
I will say that also reminded me, this is my last thing on that football team that I saw some tweets about, and I wholeheartedly agree with this. So I want to just put this out there because we need to make sure that we're all sticking to this. No more Eagles chants at Phillies games. That's done. We don't want to hear Fly Eagles Fly at Citizens Bank Park ever again.
No.
Just like I don't want to hear Jamie have to butcher names ever again. But Spiral Out liked it. He said, can we do this once a day with other teams' international signings? And the sad thing is we didn't even have all 21. You only had 13. I would love to hear the full list because I feel like you were rolling by the end.
Yeah, I was really starting to groove there.
You were developing your linguistics where, you were leaning into a little bit more. But Winifred and Joe Sweet were definitely the favorites.
Joe Sweet.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so
all right, I support that. No Eagles chants at Phillies games.
Yeah,
who started that last night? Because I did see a tweet. Do you know?
I saw several tweets about it.
Okay.
I don't know where it first started.
Yeah,
but
I think the Phillies deserve better.
I am all for that.
And I typically don't care about the Eagles chants because I think it's more of a Philadelphia rallying cry than it is like a football thing. I think it's just like, hey, we're Philly. Ugh. But it does kind of make me cringe a little bit when I hear them at Phillies games and the Phillies are competing for National League titles and all that. So I support this movement.
But you know where you don't have to cringe? That's over with Mortgage CS. That stands for Mortgage Concierge Service. The white glove service over at Mortgage CS, they're an independent mortgage broker based right here in Philadelphia where they provide you with great customer service. They help educate and empower you, and they're available 24/7. And the great thing that we love about Ben and Alec is they really like to make it personal. They want to connect with you and make sure they're helping you, whether you're looking to buy a house now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, they will still work with you and provide the best customer service. So with Mortgage CS, they want to make sure that when you think of mortgage and that you hear the word mortgage, you think Mortgage CS, you think Alec and Ben. And you can also save Ben's telephone number on your screen for those of you that are tuning in live. For those of you on podcast platforms, I'll read it out loud for you, 267-391-7425. You can save that. You can save his email, ben@mortgagecs.com. You can call, text, reach out any time of day to contact Ben. Day or night, sunny, snowy, doesn't matter. You can reach out to Ben and chat, ask questions, whether about looking to buy a house or maybe looking to get down to Clearwater with us for spring training. You can always reach out to Ben. So they make sure to help you win in a competitive market by calling the listing agents. They review offers. They highlight positive credentials. They've got positive credentials, I should say. They've got a stellar reputation, and they've got the best stuff because they just want to make it about you, helping you. So reach out to them. You can check them out at mortgagecs.com/PHLY any time of day to get started. And again, that's mortgagecs.com/PHLY. And a quick disclaimer for you, the advertisement is not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Mortgage CS is an equal housing opportunity mortgage broker. All loans are subject to credit approval. There are certain restrictions that may apply. Company NMLS ID number 1464766, and you can visit mortgagecs.com for more information. And while you're also looking to get your finances in order to prepare for your houses that you might want to buy on this competitive market, you can also take advantage of a great personal finance app. That's Rocket Money. Now, Rocket Money is great because they allow you to have all of your finances right at your disposal on your phone in an app that you can easily open up that app and see every transaction, every subscription, every bill, everywhere your money is going, or even where it's coming from. All income, all outcome is right there in your Rocket Money app. So over at Rocket Money, what I like about them is they also they send you alerts. So if there's something that they don't recognize in terms of a transaction or a canceled subscription or anything, they are right on the money with getting you an alert to make sure that you're up to date on what's happening with your finances. So over at Rocket Money, they've helped over 5 million users, and they've helped save their members an average of $720 a year, with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/PHLY. That's rocketmoney.com/PHLY. Again, rocketmoney.com/PHLY to save money today, lower your bills, and also get a nice picture of all your finances. All right, in the chat, I see a lot of chatter. Flyers talk. It's great that it's funny that that's where we are. The Flyers, nobody would have expected this. The Flyers being a team that's so fun to watch and exciting. I see a lot of Rocket Money talk in the chat too. Okay, you guys are funny. Everybody's got jokes today. I like it. All right, Jamie. So, Jaime. I'm just going to call you Jaime.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of rankings that have come out. I know we touched on it a little bit yesterday. I wanted to just share Justin Crawford's rankings. MLB's been putting out a lot by position. Also, they've been ranking prospects. And they ranked for the prospects, it was an executives prospect poll for most speed. Now, for this one, Justin Crawford did well represent, sitting at the top of the list with 19% of the votes. Love to see that. We saw various prospects getting some love, but for Justin Crawford, these are small wins. It gets you excited to see that Justin Crawford is a prospect that executives feel has the most speed, and we'll take those small victories because we need them. So also across various lists.
But that's very interesting because Justin Crawford isn't even the fastest Philly. Marion Boyd, by all reports and calculations, and they monitor speed and first to home and home to first and all that. And Marion Boyd is faster than Justin Crawford. So the Phillies could have two of the Speedy Gonzalez's. Wait, did Speedy get canceled? Can I not make that reference? I think Speedy was canceled. Yeah. But yes, anyway, 19%
of the votes, but it is interesting.
It's nice to have that much speed coming up in the system. So, that's a positive. That's all.
It is. I know. You know
I'm
what?
surprised
That's where
he's
we are
number
now.
one when he's not even the fastest on his own in his own club.
That is interesting. But we're looking for small victories, and there's one that Justin Crawford got 19% of the votes with Enrique Bradfield Jr. At number 2 at 16%. Also, different ones. Andrew Painter's been getting some love, even though he will not be pitching this upcoming season. He got some votes for best fastball, best secondary pitch. Orion Kirkering was in the mix for that, for best secondary pitch, as well as Andrew Painter. So, as MLB Network's rolling out these different, usual polls and rankings, good to see some love thrown this way.
Yeah, and, MLB, what does this say? The note from Tyler. Yeah. MLB literally compared Boyd to Billy Hamilton.
The prospect write-up on Marion Boyd was, with exceptions like Austin Riley, the history of drafted high school hitters coming out of Mississippi has been a bit spotty. Boyd fits in the Billy Hamilton mold as a speedster with the same questions about offensive impact. That was Billy Hamilton's problem his entire Major League Baseball career. Was like, if this dude gets on at like a 280 clip, he's going to steal 100 bags.
Oof.
But he just couldn't hit, and he couldn't get on base, and it's why he's really bounced around over the last couple of seasons. But if you're being compared to one of the fastest guys to ever play the game, I think you're the fastest prospect in your system.
You should be.
Yeah. Interesting, though. And another thing, Baseball America is coming out with their top 10 Phillies list today at 2 o'clock. But one of the things they did, which I'm new to the Baseball America account, so I haven't seen all the services it offers. One of the things it offered today in their preview of this upcoming top 10 list was a 2027 Phillies projected lineup. This is pretty interesting. So they have
2027.
Yeah, 2027. It's not that far away.
It's not. That's the sad part.
Yeah, unfortunately. I've been seeing a lot of those memes recently where it's like, what is it? The Wonder Years was the same distance away from 2001.
Oh, no.
It's just like those horrible.
Or things where it's like the Jetsons predicted the future and we're actually living
in that. We're
like
in the Jetsons land.
We're literally living in the Jetsons
Wasn't the Jetsons like 2024, 2025?
I'm pretty sure. And that's the thing. There's been shows and movies where they're like, oh, they talk about the future and we're in the future. And that's kind of weird.
So the 2027 projected Phillies lineup is JT Realmuto catching. Interesting. First base, Bryce Harper. I think that's a lock. Bryson Stott, second base. I think that's a lock. Third base, Aiden Miller, who we'll talk about in the Down on the Farm segment in the top 5. As your third baseman at age 23, Alec Boehm will no longer be here. Shortstop Trey Turner at age 34 will still be holding it down. And then this is pretty funny to me that the entire outfield is Phillies prospects. If Dave Dombrowski and Preston Mattingly and Sam Fuld all fix the Phillies outfield homegrown problem, then build a statue of them, because this outfield has Justin Crawford in left field, Johan Rojas in center field, and Gabriel Rincones Jr. in right field, all under the age of 26. If that happens, I'll just start growing hair again. I'd be shocked if the Phillies get a future outfield of all homegrown talent. The designated hitter. Baseball America, you're drunk on this one. I don't know what you're talking about here. Derek Hall. I would be shocked if Derek Hall is like here next year, let alone in 2027.
It gets better. Go through the pitchers.
The pitchers. So Zach Wheeler has moved on, apparently, by 2027. The number 1 starter is going to be Aaron Nola at age 34. Andrew Painter at age 24 as your number 2 starter. Number 3 starter, Mick Abel at age 25. Number 4, Ranger Suarez. Number 5, Christopher Sanchez. And the team's closer, Orion Kirkering.
Orion.
So there you have it. There's the 2027 lineup. Everybody get excited. The Derek Hall thing is just like, the rest makes sense. And I do think Aiden Miller is going to be the future third baseman. But like Derek Hall? What?
Okay. Listen, I think the overall 2027 projection is just a very weird thing. I know Spiral out saying it's silly.
But it's just weird to
did
have
you?
Derek Hall.
I don't know if I did, because
because it made me think.
we're going to see changes. We should by 2027 in the roster. So some of these names will not be here. There might be some new names in here. But it kind of makes you, it's like in a movie when they just randomly fast forward to the end and you see like everybody 3 years later and you're like, oh, this is how it turns out. But this makes me intrigued. I don't love this lineup. I think it's not great for 3 years from now. But again, this is projected with the guys as of now that are either prospects or already on the team that would still be there in 2027.
Yeah,
But
Spiral
it's a
Out
weird
says
thing
John
to think
Middleton
about.
loves this lineup because it would obviously save him
Oh,
some money.
such a cheap
finally.
lineup.
Yeah, I mean, you need some homegrown players here, and that's why Bohm and Stott and Johan right now are so valuable to this team because they're very, very cheap. So I'll be shocked if the outfield is completed of Phillies homegrown players, but we'll see there. So we'll be joined by Devon Cook here in a minute, who works for MLBBro.com. I guess we'll do the Down on the Farm segment right before we get to him. And today's Down on the Farm report is number 19, Sam Aldegheri.
Dang it.
I did this pre-show. Aldegheri. Aldegheri, right, Tyler? Aldegheri.
Yes, but you're
Aldegheri. I was even doing like the Italian.
and you still
I know I
dropped
had
the
it.
ball.
Aldegheri. Samuel Aldegheri.
Aldegheri.
Yes, he is from Italy. He was brought in by the Phillies in the international signing period prior to 2018-19. The Phillies paid $210,000 to sign Aldegheri in June that year. He was 18 at the time. He didn't pitch after signing, though he did come to Florida for instructional league. He's a 6'1", 180-pound pitcher and a strike thrower with a fastball that has been clocked kind of middle of the pack at 91. He's now 22 years old. Last year, he split time between Clearwater and the Jersey Shore. 20 appearances, as the graphic shows you there, 19 starts. He went 83 and 2/3 innings with a 4.2 ERA, a very respectable 10.65 Ks per 9, and his walk rate dropped from 13% in 2021 and 22 to a 9.6, does that say, Tyler? In 2023.
Correct. Yep.
So an encouraging sign there. Really good strikeout rate. From all the scouts' reports, he might have the best control of any prospect in the Phillies system. He has command and control, and his stuff isn't overpowering. He kind of gets in that 92, 93 range with his fastball. But his bread and butter is the command and the control.
Yeah, and I like the different reports that I read on him. There were a few different articles. Plus, he was interviewed and he was talking about just his opportunities and experiences. Now, the great things about Sam Aldegheri is the fact that he has started at a young age playing baseball, following in the footsteps of his older brother, Mattia. And he really rose through the ranks of Italian baseball quickly. And in Italy, baseball is not as prominent. It's typically football, which is soccer, over in Italy. So he was talking a lot about how he's trying to help change the narrative around baseball in Italy as being the leading sport. And, a lot of people don't really know baseball in Italy, and he's trying to really bring baseball to Italy. He's from northern Italy, for anybody curious. But he, from a young age, really started to get a lot of attention from other managers and scouts and made a great impression on Philly scout Claudia Scarrato after pitching for the Azzurri during his team, the Azzurri, during the Prague Baseball Week. And from there, he's really kind of grown. I know a lot of reports on him. His grades: fastball at a 50, curveball at a 45, slider at a 50, changeup 50, control 45, overall 40. And there's been some good information that's come out on him. His story kind of reminds me of a movie, to be honest. When I was listening to his interview and his deep Italian accent and talking about growing up playing baseball in Italy, and how at one point when he was, given the opportunity to come play with the Phillies, his dad was like, you don't have to play. You can stop. You can give up. And he's like, why would I give up now? This is everything I wanted. So it was kind of great to see his story. But then in terms of his actual pitch performance and what he can do, he fits the prototype of the pitchability of a left-hander, as reports say. He has the potential to have 4 usable pitches. None of them really jump off the page. He'll throw his fastball in the 90 to 95 mile per hour range with solid spin rates that result in some solid carry. He has distinct breaking pitches with the slider perhaps ahead of the curve and mixes in a decent changeup. So that part's been encouraging. He's not strong in one specific area, but it seems like just kind of consistent across the board. But his walk rates have been high in the early stages of his career, and there is confidence, though, that he can become a more consistent strike thrower with reps, the right instruction, and, the right opportunity. So a lot of potential and could develop. But I overall was just kind of like, this reminds me of a little bit of not a Hallmark movie, but like could be a classic little Netflix
Hallmark,
movie.
huh?
Yeah, it was giving, I was watching him in his interview and I was like, this just seems very movie-esque to me. So I wish him the best because as a young talent coming out of Verona, hey, maybe he can change the landscape of baseball in Italy.
Yeah, I mean, not a ton of Italians have come over to Major League Baseball with much success. So we'll see if that does happen. Everything I read about the kid, it's just kind of like, I don't know, like the stuff isn't great, but he gets results. He has decent command, but like his breaking pitches are decent. His speed is just okay, maybe on the lower end of decent.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I would say after reading all this, I'm a little pessimistic about his chances. But we'll see.
Honest, as you talk about, there's only been 7 players born in Italy that made it to the big leagues. And then,
do you have the list of those 7?
No, but the most recent, ALLCITY, who played in 2013, but there have only been 4 pitchers in the big leagues, and the last one in 1950. So definitely in some, as a player coming out of Italy, uncharted territory in a sense of you don't see a lot of baseball players coming out of Italy. I don't have the list of 7, but maybe one day I'll actually
John
look it up.
Sequella says Shia LaBeouf is Sam Aldegheri in the Italian flamethrower.
See? It sounds like a movie. Yeah. I'm getting movie vibes.
Hello, Patrick Lynn. Welcome in. Everybody in the chat. Mickey Durkin says there's very good wine in the Verona region.
There is.
So
great wine.
I mean, I would imagine if I was a minor league that was potentially, house sharing with Sam, he would be a good one to team up with because you're probably going to get some good wines, some good home recipes, when they're cooking. So yeah, I would probably try to shack up with Sam a little bit and get some of that good pasta cooking and good.
And that's
Verona
why I was
wine.
like, it's giving movie vibes because I don't know what's going to happen with his career in the
majors.
majors.
You think he's going to have like a Clearwater Threshers like cooking class and
they're
like throwing pasta at each other and
he'll be getting everybody onto some new wines and they'll be feeding everybody great pasta. But he might not make in the majors, but it still is a cool story, especially with his dad. Like, you don't have to go play. And he's like, but this is what I want. I just picture the whole, and now I'm plugging Shia LaBeouf into it.
I don't want your life. Yeah. Like that?
Wait, what?
That's a movie line. Come on. You got to know that.
Wait, can you say that again?
I don't want your life.
Oh.
Oh, come on.
Oh, no.
Tyler, you're not going to let me down on that one, are you?
Oh, no. I don't know.
It's Varsity Blues, right?
Thank you.
Oh, no.
Fire that pigskin, boy. Come on, Renee.
Maybe I do.
Renee.
No, Jamie.
That's bigger than Varsity Blues. That was kind of a very famous scene there in the, late 90s, early aughts? I don't know when that movie was.
Okay. Oh, Paul Walker was in that movie.
Paul Walker comes up in my family all the time. I don't recall a C-list actor getting remembered as much as Paul fucking Walker. I'm sorry, that he died and all that, but he's getting rap songs written about him every year. The anniversary of Paul Walker's death, everybody's like, oh, Paul Walker, Paul.
You stop this right now.
He is remembered.
You stop this right now. How dare you?
I'm not, it's just like Paul Walker. Like, jeez. I think it's the most overhyped remembrance ever.
First of all, let me just take this moment to say today is also Aaliyah's 45th heavenly birthday. Happy birthday to her.
She was really hot.
She was beautiful and so talented. I don't overhype anybody that, if you pass away, you deserve to be overhyped. You pass away tragically, suddenly at a young age, that's not overhyping.
Yeah.
Anybody that dies at a young age, and especially he's in the middle of filming Fast and Furious. I actually just watched that movie recently.
Don't go street racing.
And they were showing, and I ended up down a rabbit hole of how they finished the movie without him. and had his brothers playing him. It's just sad.
What the hell has
tragic.
Paul Walker ever done that? Like every year I have to say, oh my God, Paul Walker passed away. Was Khalifa writing rap songs
We
like
all
crying?
liked Paul Walker.
Did we? What the hell did he do?
He was in Fast and Furious.
I never watched that
He was in
crap.
Varsity Blues. You watched that.
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker was he was handsome.
I mean,
He
I'll
was
give him that. He's a
young.
handsome fella, but Jesus.
He was only like
the
40
Paul
when he
Walker
died.
Remembrance Tour.
He was
is out of
in.
control.
Oh my gosh, it was so tragic when he passed away because also
Was
he
it?
passed away like in a car.
Yeah,
and
he was street racing.
But that's what made it worse. It's because it's like you are in all the Fast and Furious, and in real life, your real life person passes away street racing.
Kinda.
Like that's weirdly ironic.
I can't
I
imagine
feel like we
being
gotta bring in Devon on this one.
I can't imagine being a father and going out street racing.
He's in Fast and Furious. He's a rich man. He's got all these nice cars. He lives in California. That's what they do.
Stupid. Yeah, like Patrick Lynn. Where's the rap song for Heath Ledger? I don't see Heath Ledger remembrances every year.
He
But
also,
goddamn
like,
Paul Walker,
overdosed.
let us not forget, Paul Walker passed away a year
Heath
ago.
Ledger was handsome too, by the way. But I think it's how he passed away.
There's plenty of young people that die. But I have to hear about Paul. Where did Paul Walker even come from to start this conversation?
Because you talked about Varsity Blues and I looked it up
There
and he was
it
in the
is.
movie. It's
Yeah.
all your fault.
Paul
So
Walker.
technically you brought up
Give
Paul
me a
Walker.
break.
You did
Paul
this.
Walker. All right, let's bring our guest in and see what he
You're
thinks
just not
about
going to do our
Paul
read.
Walker.
You're going to do our bagels. and
Oh,
gravy.
yes. Well, of course I have to tell you about Schmears before we get to Devon Cook,
I don't like
who's
the word
our guest today. I love bagels. It's deep in my DNA. It's been one of my favorite foods since I was a wee little boy. And Bagels and Company is doing a service to all Philadelphians in the greater Philadelphia area because they're bringing you the best of Brooklyn, the best of New York's Rat City right here to our own backyard. You don't have to go up to New York anymore to get the best. They bring it right here with Philadelphia love. The biggest bagels. Their bagels are very large, hence the Brooklyn-style bagel. Large variety, 15 to 20 different bagels at all times. You want to talk about cream cheeses and schmears? Well, they got up to 30 different flavors. Maybe there's a Nick Sirianni farewell cream cheese coming out this week. Maybe on Paul Walker Day, they'll do a Paul Walker cream cheese. I don't know. They're all over the place. They'll do cream cheeses for whatever the event is, holidays, sports, anything going on. And they're an affordable brand because you get a lot of food for cheap. And in today's economy, this is very important to them because they've debated raising their prices, but they want to be that everyday brand and not some high-end bougie place you only go to once in a while and splurge on. They want to be a artisan mom and pop shop with everyday prices. And a lot of the customers are repeat because once you get there, you're going to find out how great it is. Really good coffee, too, and it's not going to cost you $7 like some places. I'm to blame right now. So don't go to those other subpar products when you can get a quality product for cheaper at Bagels & Company. For the best Brooklyn-style bagels made right here in Philly, head to thebagelsandco.com/store-locator to find the closest Bagels & Co. near you. Now let's bring in our next guest. Devon Cook works for MLBBro.com as one of their MLB analysts. He joins the show now as the S Skype symbol. So welcome in, Devon. We will try and work out this technical issue and check back in with you in a second there as we cannot see. Maybe you can drop and reconnect, Tyler. We hear Devon, but we can't. Yes, we can hear you. We can't see you.
Okay, shucks. I'm going to try to log back in, but hello, guys. Thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure, but yes, let me try to reconnect.
Okay.
Does the sound okay, too?
Actually, the sound is fine.
The sound is great.
I mean, we'd like to see your face, but it's okay. If you want to just stay and chat, it'll be like a radio call-in type of vibe. I want to ask, though, we're going to start with Paul Walker when Devon comes back in because we need to settle this debate once and for all.
I just think it's weird.
I just think you're weird, Jamie.
I don't think I'm weird at all. I think I'm seeing
weird.
very clearly. Yeah, John Sequella. Was Paul Walker part of the Illuminati? Was he a stonemason?
Oh, now I love a good conspiracy theory.
What is up with this Paul Walker remembrance?
I fully lean into the Illuminati.
You think he's a lizard person?
I never really thought he was part of the Illuminati as a sacrifice. I never thought that far into it. But, I will say I do feel like Paul Walker deserves all the remembrance.
From what?
Joyride. I looked up his movies.
Joyride? What the hell is that?
You didn't say Joyride?
No. You can't say like
Into the
Joyride, a classic.
It's a classic.
No, has anybody in the chat seen Paul Walker's Joyride? By the way, this guy was addicted to racing. Maybe give it up.
Why do I feel like this is Nicolas Cage all over again?
I don't have a problem with Nicolas Cage.
What? Oh, you have a problem with Ghost Rider.
Oh, well, no, I had a problem with you saying that Ghost Rider was a great movie. That was my problem. Nicolas Cage is fine. He's harmless. He's kind of
wow.
Fun. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
so what, you want to continue?
All the Fast and the Furious is.
Yeah, okay.
She's All That. Classic movie from the 90s.
Nope, never saw it.
Oh my gosh. He's not a main character in that though, so I'm not going to
He's probably just a hot beefcake that's like eye candy.
Hot beefcake. Oh my gosh. All right. I don't know.
Exactly. What kind of list is that?
I don't know on your end.
Wiz Khalifa's writing songs about
It's the Fast and Furious because everybody loves those movies.
Dude,
and then
I know there's like 19 of them, but like
he put a lot of movies actually.
Aren't they all just the same?
Hours. Takers. Oh, that was a great movie. That's a good movie. Takers. Where they're like robbing.
I think your definition of great,
I'm not
great
making
movies
this up.
is
Takers was with Idris Elba, Chris Brown, Michael Ealy, Paul Walker when they were like bank robbers. Matt Dillon. It was we need to have a movie watching party clearly because some of us aren't watching movies.
It has a 3 out of 5 on IMDb. I mean, most of this cast stinks.
It's Takers?
Yeah.
No, it does not.
Chris Brown.
That's such a good.
Get out of here. Chris Brown cannot be good.
I just read that. I just read those names.
I know.
And you still say it stinks.
Yeah, Matt Dillon's
Idris
okay.
Elba alone. Michael Ealy.
Idris Elba's a beast. Who?
Matt Dillon. Who?
Oh, Michael Ealy. Okay, he's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Hayden Christensen.
I was not prepared for this today, guys. I was not prepared for this.
Let's check the Rotten Tomatoes
Matthew
score.
Perry. Oh. Rest in peace to him, too. Do you know who Matthew Perry is?
Yeah.
Friends?
Takers has a 1.5.
I'm not going by Rotten Tomatoes.
It has a 1.5 star rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm not going by Rotten Tomatoes.
28%.
I don't even understand what that means. Because here's the thing. The only people that go on Rotten
Audience
Tomatoes.
score is 62%. I'll give you that.
The only people that go on Rotten Tomatoes are the people that don't like a movie. I have never, ever, ever, ever
Takers
gone and rated good or bad any movie that I watched. Have you?
No.
Exactly. It's trolls that are bored that for whatever reason didn't like a movie and then they go and give it like 0 stars.
Well,
Pleasantville, another great movie. Oh my gosh. I Am Paul Walker.
oh boy.
There's a lot of Paul Walker movies. I didn't realize he was in all these movies. Man, this is why. This is why I remember him. It's all your fault.
Yeah.
I blame you. All right. Well, I think we're having some issues with Devon, unfortunately. So let's move along into some other news because I could stay on this rabbit hole all day of Paul Walker. Paul Walker was never in a Hallmark movie, guys, but he actually would have made a great Hallmark movie main character. He's totally giving main character vibes. For Hallmark.
Bad actor that does the cheesily romantic.
Handsome man that's, he'd fit in nice for that like small town love story. All right, you guys are rough. American Pie. Ugh. You know what, Tyler? If Devon is not working out, it is okay. We will move along. We will try to see if we can get him another time because time is ticking here too, and we've got some trivia to get into. Plus, we've got some other stories around the league. Now,
we gotta do guess that. So we gotta get out of here.
You want to talk about some? We're just gonna run through some quick, cute stories. One is I love a good brother-in-law story, and this when I saw it came out. For Major League Baseball, they were dropping the news about the latest pair of brother-in-laws that are going to be facing off against each other. It was adorable. Jung-Hoo Lee and Woo Suk-go are brother-in-laws. They both, of course, now play with San Francisco and San Diego. So they're not going to be facing off against each other in the AL West. And for the two of them, there was like the whole story that came out. Jung-Hoo Lee was saying he was asleep. A call came in at nighttime, and it was Woo Suk-go saying, oh, I'm dating your sister. And now fast forward, they're brother-in-laws, and they're playing against each other. So then I did a whole rabbit hole deep dive, and there were other brother-in-laws that played against each other in the league. Very famous ones at that. And I thought that's such a cool thing, Jamie.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty wild to think about playing my brother-in-law in a professional sporting event. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you've had Brandon Crawford, Garrett Cole. You've had Jose Barrios, Javier Baez. You've had Manny Machado and Yonder Alonso. You've had Willie Castro and Ahmed Rosario. There's been a lot of brother-in-laws in the league. So now we've got another brother-in-law face-off happening, which is cool on the West Coast. Also out in San Fran, just heard Dusty Baker reconnecting with the Giants. He's getting ready to get started in the front office. So from a longtime manager to now working in the front office with the Giants, Bob Nightingale was reporting that. I love Dusty Baker. I don't love the Astros, obviously, but he was always a guy that I was kind of like, he just reminds me of a cool older gentleman, uncle type of vibe.
Dusty's always, I mean, he's baseball royalty.
Exactly. So I'm glad that he's back.
He's kind of like, why am I blanking on the Rangers? Bruce Bochy. Like, he just goes somewhere, stabilizes it, makes it great, and just gets the best out of everybody. Dusty's kind of that guy. And, definitely he'll be in the Hall of Fame if he's not already. I forget how they handle managers. But he'll be in for sure. He's a staple of the game.
Definitely. And then another thing that came out, it's a lot of San Fran news today, apparently, because there's not a lot going on in general. But Rhys Hoskins and Blake Snell have been connected to San Francisco. That was, in a recent piece, Jim Bowden was talking about predictions for where free agents are going to land, and he listed the best match for Rhys Hoskins and Blake Snell, both at San Francisco. Of course, we all have been expecting and waiting on the news for Rhys to go to Chicago. But for both names who are still on the market and still being watched, apparently there could be some, well, according to Jim, he's saying they're a good fit. But that makes me wonder if there's been any discussions that are happening behind the scenes that has led him to connect them together. So Rhys Hoskins has been seen as the plan B for several teams, as Jim was talking about. And so, we got an echo there. Can you disconnect out of Skype? There we go. Sorry about that, guys. But Rhys Hoskins.
Sorry, guys. We are having some significant technical problems here.
We'll just have to reschedule with Devon. It's okay. If you can talk to him.
If you can close out of Skype so we don't keep.
Yeah, no, it's empty now. It's just it was so what ended up happening was so to give everybody kind of an understanding of what happened. We were having a visual issue, so we tried to reset the connection. Then it forced me to join the link on my phone.
Yeah, I heard you.
And that's why you were getting the echo, because it was just reverberating between your microphone and my phone and back out again. So we'll do our best to fix it. We'll get Devon back on another day.
It's all good. It's all good. No worries. John Tequila said it's Paul Walker wreaking havoc. It was actually just my voice that you guys are hearing echoing through. So that was me. That was not anything else that you're hearing, Mickey.
Yeah, that wasn't great. That's my fault.
But yeah, it's Rhys Hoskins has been seen as a plan B for a number of clubs, and that seems to be the case still at this time. All right, as we wrap up, though, because we're going to move along, today is a somber day. We've got Guess That Stance. We've got Phillies trivia, because I have some good trivia for you both. I think you're going to get it today. I think today's your day.
I'm still mad that I missed the Harry Callis patch question.
Yeah, that was. I actually really expected you to get that one, but I think.
Well, yeah, because it was so obvious in hindsight. Bill Giles, what a dumb guess.
Yeah, it's okay. So you want to do raisins and meatballs or trivia?
Trivia.
Okay. All right, Tyler, are you ready? I feel like you both could use a win today.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I won't do the scoreboard. All right, trivia question number 1. Today's theme for our trivia that I'm thoroughly enjoying. Again, shout out to Amazon for this book by Ray Walker that I stumbled upon because I just always end up going down rabbit holes on the internet. And so this is famous quotes. These are quotes said by Phillies. I will give you the multiple choice answers because I feel like it only helps. Some of these are a little more obvious than others. Question number 1. Which former Philly once said, I never want to look in the mirror and say, what if? What if I had run harder? What if I had dived for that ground ball? A, Jimmy Rollins. B, Mike Schmidt. C, Steve Carlton. Or D, Chase Utley.
I'm going to go with D, Chase Utley.
And you are correct.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo! Good job, Jamie.
That sounds like such a chaseism.
1 point for Jamie. 28 for Tyler. Question number 2. Which current Phillies player Oh, well, this is actually a stupid. Okay. Which current Phillies player once said, "If you don't have dreams, you don't have a life. That's my motto." Was it A, Kyle Schwarber, B, Bryce Harper, C, Trey Turner, D, JT Realmuto?
That's such a cheesy thing to
It
say.
is. So I'm going to go with Bryce Harper.
I'm going to go JT Realmuto.
Neither of you submitted with your sounds, by the way.
I'll go with Bryce.
like
It sounds very cheesy, and I think Bryce is kind of cheesy in a good way.
Yeah, I'm still going JT.
And Jamie, you are 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper. Now, the funny part is this book actually came out in 2020. So I changed the names because I clearly you were going to get it otherwise. The names that were originally listed were Andrew McCutchen, Bryce Harper, Didi Gregorius, and Jake Arrieta.
Oh, I talked to myself.
Jake Arrieta's quote would have been something along the lines of, bleep everybody here except me. I'm good. You suck.
I'm the greatest.
And I hate it here.
I was fully convinced that Didi Gregorius was a great signing and was going to work out here, and he was going to find his power again.
Oh, man.
And that didn't happen. I don't know if you guys remember that, but Didi did not work out here.
Didi did not.
Yeah.
All right, number 3.
Didi is knighted, though. He is Sir Didi. But you
Really?
didn't know that, yeah.
No, I did not know
In
that.
the Netherlands, he got knighted.
Did they do like a sword on his head?
I
And you have to like
assume
bow
so.
down.
That's the
and,
only
like-
way to get knighted, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's what movies show.
Yeah.
All right, which former Philly is quoted as saying, "To cure a batting slump, I took my bat to bed with me. I wanted to know my bat a little better." Was it A, Jason Worth, B, Grover Cleveland Alexander, C, Richie Ashburn, or D, Matt Stairs?
I'm going to go with C, Richie Ashburn. That just sounds like an old head baseball move.
Tyler, I'm going to give you a chance here to get a point on the board.
I think he's probably right, but for the interest of guessing somebody else,
Very sexy.
I'm going to say Matt Stairs, but I think you're correct.
And Jamie is correct. Richie Ashburn. Woo!
3 for 3, no big deal.
Tyler, you were correct too because you would have said Richie, but
All right, that was a nice
so are
little
you
pick
having
me up
fun
today.
now?
Yeah. I'm thinking about Paul Walker a lot all of a sudden. I can't get that out of my mind. But going 3 for 3 was nice.
That's why Paul Walker has whole memorials and everything.
Yeah.
Because he's on everybody's mind.
Uh-huh.
I cried when I
Still
the
can't
end
believe
of
you
Fast
didn't know
and
that
Furious.
quote.
Okay.
I don't want your
I still
life.
can't believe you don't think Paul Walker deserves to be.
He can be remembered, but like the
memorialized,
point
like,
it
every
goes
year.
to is just absolutely
It was just
insane.
it was one of those things where it was like, is this a joke? Is this a movie? It was just so surprising.
I thought you were about to say, "I'll never forget where I was when I found out that Paul Walker died."
No, I never forget where I was where Aaliyah died, because that I was like 8 years old when she died, and it was very, very like, that was my first time I feel like really understanding. No, like one of my first deaths as a child that I remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Paul Walker, I don't remember where I was, but I still remember the feeling. It was awful. It's awful.
And I guess.
I cried. I literally watched Fast and Furious like last week and cried at the end.
Really?
It was so sad how they wrapped the movie up, and they actually
Is it over? It's not over.
No, they were gonna drop another one, but I heard it got paused or whatever. I don't know what's happening there. But they wrapped up the end of the movie with it was like these scenes that they used of AI basically. His brothers were acting as him to fill in finish the movie.
Like, what are we doing? We're making hologram Paul Walkers?
Because they had to finish. That was a whole thing, Jamie.
Oh
They were in the middle of filming the movie, which is why I thought his death was a joke.
Well, then don't go out street racing, Paul.
And then they were like, they weren't going to finish the movie, and then decided to finish the movie. Just Googled the story.
Ugh.
Even though I just told you the story. And so then his brother stepped up and acted in his place, and then they used his past scenes from previous movies to finish the movie. And it's so sad.
Mickey, don't disrespect Keanu Reeves like that. Keanu Reeves is much better than Paul Walker ever was. Please don't bring Keanu into this.
Actually, though, that might be pretty accurate because Keanu Reeves was in a lot of the same types of movies. He was
No.
Like Paul Walker and
Keanu Reeves as an actor is up here. Paul Walker is all the way down here.
Okay. I don't know about that big of a gap, but I would say
He's
do like Keanu.
Neo.
I just Googled Keanu Walker.
He's Neo. Speed on VHS. I crushed that movie when I was young.
Such a good movie.
Speed was awesome.
Oh man, Keanu does some great movies.
All right, let's get to another win for me. Hopefully,
John
here
Wick,
today.
Matrix.
John Wick is awesome. Yeah.
John Wick is.
He's Neo.
I'm not a huge John Wick fan.
Well, it's because it's just like the body count is like 485 deaths a movie. It's just
Constantine was twisted.
It's kind of it's John Wick is a very much a dude's rock kind of movie. So I understand.
It was just redundant too by like the fourth one. Knock Knock, another good movie. Speed.
Knock Knock.
Yes.
No idea what she's talking about anymore, folks. But let's get to Guess That Swing for today. Let's see if I can keep the perfect streak going. And yes, he was in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I mean, come on. That alone is better than anything Paul Walker's ever done. Let's get to
Did you know
today.
he was in Toy Story 4?
Yes, he's Duke Kaboom.
Oh, of course you knew that.
He's Duke Kaboom.
Dang it, I was trying to stump you.
No.
You've been like lights out today.
Yeah.
Woo!
I guess Eagles Misery really gets me in the
He
zone.
was also
with
in the
trivia.
SpongeBob SquarePants movie. I bet you didn't know that.
I've never seen that, Renee.
There we go. There's
All right,
one
let's get
small
to
win.
today's Guess That Swing. The people will. Here it comes. It's coming for you.
Oh,
I am
perfect
6 for
timing,
6.
Will.
No big deal, but kind of a big deal.
Oh,
Ooh.
brother.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh, I don't have an immediate answer. And that
Good. You
that
need to get one wrong. I'm
troubles
tired
me.
of you being right for everything. Will was quick with an answer.
I think that's a joke answer. But you should use Will's answer.
No, I'm not. I'm just tossing out some names.
Ooh, that's kind of tough.
Ooh, I feel like Okay, wait. I feel like I might know something.
I have an answer, but it feels wrong. Because I don't think a backup catcher would be used.
It's anybody dating back to 2006, Jamie. Anybody.
Jamie, do you really think I wouldn't be sick and sadistic enough to put a backup catcher in at some point?
No, that's true. And Chris Slemmer, it's not Jim Eisenreich. It's 2006 to present day Phillies only. All right, now you saying that, I'm like, all right, I'm going to text you, Tyler. My answer is in. I was between two. I think I'm not in love with my answer.
I'm going to text you my answer because I think I feel
Because
pretty
it
good
looks
about
like
mine.
it could be a backup
What
catcher.
backup catcher are you think? Are you going like Chris Coast?
No, it's
No, we're not having these.
he's
What
a
is
lefty.
This? What is this, phone a friend?
He's a lefty,
Like,
so I'm not
come on
going Chris
now.
Coast. I'm going
Is
current
he a
team.
lefty? Oh,
You see a righty?
I see a righty.
Nah, that's a lefty.
See, I don't know because I always see it backwards. I feel like.
Wait, Jamie. Oh no, you said you saw a lefty. Okay, I
Yeah, it's a
understand.
lefty.
I was gonna say your answer is
It's
left-handed.
a lefty. Woogie,
Yeah.
woogie, woogie.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. No, that's definitely a lefty. And I shouldn't give Renee these tips.
I mean, it's not helping me at all.
7 for 7 on the line here. I'm a little nervous. Are you?
It actually just screwed me up because I was going to go with somebody.
Maybe it's Paul Walker.
Oh, that's a good guess.
Yeah.
Annoying. All right. I'm just going to say an answer because I'm going to be wrong. Whatever. Jeez. Tyler, I can't find my texting to text you. Okay, here we go.
You can just shout it out.
Yeah. I'm already
Jamie's
submitted.
answer's
You can
already
shout.
in. You can just shout it out.
People in the chat are saying Stubbs, JT, Vin Diesel.
It does. It looks a lot like Stubbs.
Is that what your answer is?
I'm not telling you.
Let me see your answer.
I already submitted. Tyler, don't spill the beans.
Great American Ballpark.
Great American Ballpark, Cincinnati. Final answer.
Wait, I
All right, Renee's answer's in. Jamie's answer's in. One of those two answers are correct.
I did not go with Stubbs, even though it looks like him. 7 for 7. The streak continues. Raul. And he was on yesterday's show sheet, which we didn't get to because he just took a front office gig with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Always loved Raul. Wish we got him a little bit younger and maybe for a little bit longer. His near home run in the Giants NLCS series will forever be like the one that just didn't have enough to get out on that one bloody nil windy day. 7 for 7. No big deal, Renee.
just
What
for
was
the
your
record,
guess? Stubbs?
I'm not.
What was your guess?
It was Stubbs.
Okay. It looked like
Then
Stubbs.
I just threw in some other names.
Those were the
So,
two I was torn between.
Here's the thing. For the record, who came up with this game?
That would be me.
And who's sitting 7 for 7?
That would be me.
I'm going to come up with some games that I'm going to win at.
All right. You do it.
That's all.
Do it. I'll be here.
Because now it was trivia that I got satisfaction from.
I just need to be
And now you're
Eagles
getting-
miserable to get in my zone. And,
I was at least getting the satisfaction of you getting completely wrong answers for Phillies trivia.
No, but I
and
aced
now
that
all of a sudden
today.
you aced that, and I'm in shambles.
No big deal.
I've got no victories today.
My boy Raul, good friends with Pearl Jam. Do you know that story?
No.
He had Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam as guests during the NLCS that year. He's good friends with Mike McCready from his time in Seattle.
Yeah, well,
How
you're
about
just
that?
batting a
How about
thousand
that
over
little fun
there.
fact for you, Raul?
Aren't you
and Pearl
doing so
Jam.
great, Jamie?
This is a big burden I bear now, Renee. Being 7 for 7.
Okay.
having
I
to
don't know who
carry
was worse
this?
when they were winning, me or
I
you.
mean, am I going to go 42 for 42? I mean, a lot of people are saying that out there.
Rumors. This would be
He's
great.
he's on his Joe DiMaggio streak now.
Jamie's
He's
gonna
just
step into
accumulating hits at
he's
this
gonna
point.
step in the post-show confessional. You know, guys.
Yeah, you'll smoke me at Union Trivia, as Spiral Out says. So if you want to start up
I'm
Union
gonna
Trivia.
just, guys. Don't worry. I've got some games that we're gonna be playing here on the show because I'm tired of. I don't like winning, Jamie. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Like you're sitting over there very smug with your Starbucks.
It's a mix of smug, Eagles misery.
I don't see misery. Oh no, Martian.
Technical
Don't do me like that.
annoyances with the show. That's nobody's fault. Just stuff that happens. So it's a mix of that.
I will say one thing that's consistent is that we went over an hour.
Yeah, of course. Fucking Paul Walker.
Jamie and Tyler thought we were gonna have like a 40-minute show, and here we are at 61 minutes and counting.
All right, well that's time to wrap up then, Renee. We have some daily positivity to get to. It was your.
Shoot! No!
Oh no! I reminded you that your one you added to the show sheet had already been used.
Wow, it's a really bad day for me. Oh my gosh.
So you're gonna have to on the spot come up with some positivity.
I
Why
had
this
one.
year's
I actually did have one, but I didn't
why
write it
this
down.
year's Phillies team will be better than last year's.
Well, the Mets suck. See you later, everybody.
Crap.
I always love that Family Guy scene where it's like opening day of the Mets, and it's like, and that ball's out of the stadium. Well, the season's over. All right.
All right, I'm gonna say mine, and I feel like it's perfectly connected to the heartache that we felt last night. I wasn't sure if I should bring this up yet, but I feel like it's time to drop this as my positivity because we need to manifest this for the Phillies and all Philly sports. In 2024,
Oh, wait, I gotta get
we
my
need
notepad.
less bad losses. There's such thing as a bad loss. You can have a hard fought loss. It's down to the wire. It's that final play, that final out that is the difference of the game. And you're like, oh, that was a great game. You can also have a bad loss where it's over very early and it's a blowout and you don't show up and it looks like you never got off the plane because your team is just not there. You look like cones out there. Your D-line can't tackle. You can't hit the ball. You can't score. You can't get a rebound. Pick a sport. Those are bad losses. And I feel like it's very fitting after the bad loss we had last night because the Eagles did not even show up. The Phillies have had those games as well, playoffs especially, but even through the regular season, I want less bad losses. They're very deflating in my opinion. It makes you go back to the drawing board and you're like scratching your head, like you need to throw it all away and change everything
And
versus
I think
a hard fought loss.
when you get into that locker room after those types of losses,
terrible.
you just kind of ask yourself, what would Paul Walker do?
Okay.
What would Paul Walker do?
Who are you, Jaime?
What would Paul Walker do?
They don't all feel the same, Martian. I don't like losing. I hate losing. I'm pissed right now that Jamie's winning over there. He's sitting on the throne of victory, and I'm sitting over here, the dumpster of losses.
What
But
would Paul Walker do?
I will say, if you have less of those bad losses, those ones that destroy your morale, they have you in the locker room, not saying what would Paul Walker do, but
That's what
have
they're
you just
asking. That's Rob
questioning
Thompson.
every
Isn't Paul
coaching
Walker Canadian?
decision.
Am I making that up? Rob Thompson's Canadian. It makes sense.
Is he Canadian?
Duke
I thought he was
Kaboom
born in California.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
But it
I was
has
on a roll,
you-
Renee. Let me just go.
Yeah, he was definitely born in Glendale, California.
Okay. I was trying to make a Canadian tie in there. But all right, you're officially number 11 on the daily positivity list. We have 13 more to go as we wrap up 24 days of positivity. Gonna get tougher and tougher here because the easy ones are all gone.
I feel like I just switched us into the tougher. It's time for us to start digging a little deeper.
It's definitely
These are
getting
gut
tougher.
check positivity.
Yeah.
thoughts.
So that is it for us today here on the PHLY Phillies podcast. We appreciate everybody chiming in. Hopefully we were a nice distraction from the dog shit that is the Philadelphia Eagles. I fully anticipate Nick Sirianni and his coaching staff are getting canned this week. You can check out Zach and Bo's stuff on all PHLY. They're going to have a busy week ahead of them, but we will be here distracting you from all of that and talking Phillies as we do. For Renee Washington, Tyler Zulli, and myself, make sure you're hitting that like button before you're getting out of here. As you've seen scroll across the screen there, we have some new merch up on the website as well. So check that stuff out. And if you want to become a diehard, the Discord channel alone is worth it. It's a lot of fun there. So we appreciate each and every one of you for hopping in the chat, being a part of the show. We love you all, and we will be back tomorrow at noontime. Maybe we'll remember Paul Walker even some more before
I'm going to
then.
bring some Paul Walker stuff.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Damn.
Do it for Paul.
We all silly like the mayor.